Hello and welcome back to, oh god, I'm going to say 7th episode.
Well, it's week 3 of semester 2.
Week 3, semester 2. So yeah, I think it's the 7th episode of the world's favourite radio show, Real Talk. That's
Favourite
R-E-E-L.
small-time film.
As in film reels.
Sometimes
if people hadn't have got
other
that.
stuff. Radio.
Sometimes we just ramble, you know, we just let loose on the mics.
I guess
We're
that's
the
kind of
M&Ms
like
of
what
Flirt
the
FM.
radio show does.
Yeah, no,
No?
you're dead right, Claudia.
That's
So-
actually a good point, Claudia. Would you repeat that point?
That it's the point of a radio show to ramble.
Okay, and what do you mean by that, Claudia?
Well, so what I don't like about some radio shows, back home especially, is when they play a banger of a song and they're like, you jam with it, and then in the middle of the song they just stop and they just like say, this was the song, and it's like, it's the middle of the song, it just stopped, and they would just talk over the song while it's playing, making comments about the song, and I'm like, I want to listen to the radio because of music, but you're rambling over the song, so I guess this is the point of a radio show.
Welcome back, everybody. That was one quick rant by Claudia.
Yeah.
Now,
Did you turn her microphone off?
I brought it down slightly towards the end volume-wise.
Okay.
We heard
I
everything.
honestly thought you turned her off, and I was like,
No,
is
I
that just going to be like
I faded
two
her
minutes
out.
of dead air?
I faded her out like a song.
Ah, very nice. A bit of a poetic movement
Just at
there
the very
by
end.
Claudia.
It was your last sentence.
So, Claudster,
I'm a
how you
little bit
doing?
confused.
Don't.
I think I'm doing good, just a little bit tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll chug that coffee there.
Yes.
That's why we were late starting our edition.
Although I
because
don't
Claudia
want
needed
like
coffee.
anyone to like listen to like sounds.
No, I think
of
you should get your
I'll fade
chugging.
you- I'll
get
fade
your-
you out again.
get
I'll
your
fade
throat
her out
right
again.
up close.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
No,
know
thank
what?
you, Rob.
Rob, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm very good.
Oh, it's good to see you.
I'm in great form. It's great to see you, Seán. So, this week, rather than kind of one by one walking through all of our segments, we all know what we do. We talk a bit about news. We play a few different games. We just get started?
Let's just get started.
All right, guys.
So what's the first section?
So the first bit is my bit.
Oh, very
Still,
interesting.
we need to come up with a title for it.
Look, I'm going to say it again. I said it 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to say it a third time. Rob's Rhododendrons.
What is a rhododendron?
It's a type of flower. It's a flower from Kerry, and they have like rhododendrons.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably not though. Like,
Maybe
if we're
not.
Being honest,
What we'll
yeah.
do is, so what happens obviously in this segment is just I describe films to Claudia and Seán, and the two of them have to see if they know what film I'm talking about. Sometimes I describe the plot. Sometimes I intentionally kind of obtusely describe the plot. I kind of talk about it from a different angle, or I make it sound like it's a different genre to what it is. This week's theme is Oscar winners. So all of these films have won the best the best picture Oscar.
Okay.
Lovely. And they all have great pissing scenes as well. So
Has anyone noticed the chairs are getting worse?
the chairs get louder and louder every week.
Every
which is
episode the
absolutely
chairs
awful.
are just...
I've sounded quite low energy for the last few episodes because I've been sick.
Bring it in
and I still
high.
am.
Woo!
But yeah, I'm really going to be
Energy!
pumping out the energy this episode. So, guys, last week, I think Seán won. And I think Seán won the week before. Now, I run this section, right? I run it like a boss.
Well, actually, last week you guys decided it was like a draw, I think,
yes,
because you wouldn't give me the half a
yeah,
point
because you
back.
got the wrong film. Yeah.
So
no, I
that's-
think last week I won,
No, you
but you
didn't.
insisted
No, you didn't.
on having. Yeah.
It was a draw because you only got one right. Because you got the Back to the Future one right. I said Back to the Future 2. You said Back to the Future.
No, it was... The issue was that was
That was-
correct. But
that was
what
the one
you
she
were,
got right.
what you had a problem with last week
Batman
was you
one.
said Batman and Robin when the film was... No, you said Batman Begins when the film was Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Which is
so
just
I
a
still
different
think
film.
I should have got a half a point.
Well, I think even if you had gotten half a point, you still wouldn't have won.
I would have. Well, I would have because I would have got one and a
Oh,
half.
we're saying it was a draw.
Yeah, it was.
instead.
We
Well,
both got
no,
one right.
I stand by that. I think it was a draw. And that makes it more interesting because now Claudia could win this week to tie up the whole thing.
I'm gonna jump across the table and knock Claudia out.
You're on the same size.
I never knew
as her.
that like Seán was this competitive
He's very competitive. No, he
I
is.
because
just wanna
I'm the
win.
least
I wanna
competitive
win.
Yeah,
person
that's
ever.
actually what competitive
Okay,
means.
let's do this.
Let's get into it, guys. These have
I've
all
been-
won.
I've
Best
been practicing.
Picture. You've
I'm
been-
scared.
How do you practice?
I don't know.
You have
I
your
didn't
girlfriend
practice.
write different film descriptions and throw them at you?
Oh, that
She
would be
crumpled-
smart.
Yeah, you could do that. Actually,
gonna do that, yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna say, guys, you should be practicing for this.
I'm gonna practice.
Anyone who listens at home, I know it's a myth. I know we have no listeners, but if we do, you can try practicing, guys. Try practicing during the week. When you hear the show live on a Friday, I think it's mainly just my mom who listens. Give it a go, Joan. See how you feel. All right.
Did you receive any texts?
This week, yes, I'll do a segment later where I talk about the texts we got in.
Yeah, and
Now-
I'll talk about the conversation I had with RT
Guys.
about the, giving their number out.
Okay, that's
Oh my
enough
God.
references to previous shows. Now, Riggin is now a faded American icon. In a deluded attempt at reliving his past glory, he imagines himself levitating and with telekinetic powers. He is committed to making a Broadway play, which on opening night has an explosive finale. 3, 2, 1. What's the film?
Is it Birdman?
It is. It's Birdman.
Whoa.
I've not even
very
watched
good.
Birdman. I'm so happy right now.
Birdman is terrific. Birdman's fantastic.
Very good,
So that's
Claudia.
1 to
Thank
Claudia
you.
so far this week.
Hee.
Tony Mendez never wanted to make a film in Iran. Can't say I blame him. Can't say I know much about Iran. So at the same time, maybe he's... Yeah, who knows. When some old friend asks him for a favour, and inspired by his son's viewing of Battle for the Planet of the Apes, he sets off for Iran to make a sci-fi film with a crew more used to administrative work. Getting in is easy, but can they get out?
I haven't a notion.
3, 2, 1. Any guesses? This is the best picture winner, Argo.
Okay, I've never seen
I've
Argo.
never seen Argo.
Argo is fantastic.
Isn't Ben Affleck in that?
Ben Affleck isn't
very nice.
playing Tony Mendez. The story of the American embassy in Iran, which during, I believe, some revolution, America sheltered the Iranian ruler at the time, which made the Iranians quite upset. They stormed the embassy and took all of the Americans hostages. And then when a Canadian minister hides them in his house, they have to fake making a film and being a film crew to get out of the country.
Very
So they pretend that
interesting.
they're there location scouting for a made-up sci-fi film called Argo. Really, really good film.
Huh, interesting.
So still 1-0 to Claudia. Llewellyn Moss stumbles upon a messy situation while out hunting, but he's delighted to find a very nice suitcase, crammed full of dollar bills. A rather intimidating man, Anton, is sent to retrieve the money, which starts a game of cat and mouse between the two men. This is the best picture winner. There are actors in the film. It was shot on sets.
On
Any
what?
ideas, guys?
It was shot on what?
On sets. Which all films are.
I don't know.
3,
Fiction?
2,
That's
it's a
briefcase.
modern film.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. I'm going to take a guess
Is
from
it
you guys.
Revenant?
So we have The Revenant. Clearly never seen The Revenant. No worries.
Clearly never seen The Revenant.
I've no idea.
Suitcase, Lou and Moz. Best picture. God.
Llewellyn Moss, also pronounced Llewellyn Moss. But yeah, you'd be right.
Well, I was close enough. I have absolutely no idea.
No worries. No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
No Country for Old Men is another fantastic film that neither of you have seen.
Well,
Just because you said like something about like woods, and then I was
Yeah,
thinking
never
about like
mentioned-
best movies.
Never
and
mentioned the
then-
word woods, but
No. Oh, sorry.
never once said woods.
Yikes.
That's all right. But if I had, well, it wouldn't have been a good description of the film. I don't know if you're going to get this one now. This is an older Oscar winner, but still a very famous film. Popeye and Cloudy are two New York narcotics officers following what they believe to be a routine series of busts. They grow suspicious that something larger is afoot, however, when all of the perps are wearing berets and stink of fresh artisanal baguettes. What could the connection be? There's a bit of wordplay there now. That might not be the exact plot of the film, but it has a few elements from it, and it also incorporates the title a bit. Do you want me to read that one again?
read it again.
Popeye and Cloudy are two New York narcotics officers following what they believe to be a routine series of busts. They grow suspicious that something larger is afoot, however, when all of the perps are wearing berets and stink of fresh baguettes. What could the connection be? Sean doing a quick Google search there for Oscar winners, Best Picture. No worries.
I think that should be
No.
I'm going to
prohibited,
give you
but
guys 3 seconds. I think that was a joke, Claudia. I doubt he is. 3, 2, 1. What do you guys want to guess?
You said it's in the title, so I'm going to say Popeye and Cloudy.
Okay. And Claudia?
wait.
Sean,
So
will
you
reboot Claudia, please?
your so your description.
Yes.
You put the title into your
Oh my
description.
God, why is this?
It alludes to the
Claudia,
title.
just throw
No,
out a
okay.
thing. Just throw the thing so you can win.
It's the French Connection.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that, but like I don't know the French Connection, so I was thinking it had something to do with France.
Yeah, dead right. And even the last line was, what could the connection be? So you had baguettes,
Aw.
you had
Connection.
berets. The French Connection is a fantastic film.
Oh, it's also a clothing store in Galway.
It could well be.
No,
Well,
it is. It is.
FC
I don't know
UK,
what. Yeah.
French Connection UK, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Every week, we have a bonus film. You get
Oh,
four
I
in a
forgot
bonus.
we had this.
Now,
Well, Sean, you can't win anymore, so
oh, God.
Yes, I can, because you
No,
only
we
got
can't.
one right.
Well, you can draw with her.
yeah, you can draw
Well,
with
that's
me,
still not technically losing.
Well, dead right.
but like you can't win. That's what I said.
Guys,
Yeah.
the
go,
king
go.
is back, baby. No longer bumming about in a dingy hood. Now he's got a fresh-ass crown and a real sharp sword. His friend even has some bomb new white robes to match the white aesthetic of the king's capital. No longer happy with having all the action take place in his gaff, the king starts a mountaineering club, and him and his mates go for a trek. And it's not Star Trek, before either of you. guess Star
Okay,
Trek.
so it's about a guy who is king, but I don't feel like he's actually king. I think that's just like he's the king of something.
Do you want me to read it again?
Read it again.
The king is back, baby. No longer bumming about in a dingy hood, he's now got a fresh-ass crown and a real sharp sword. His friend even has some bomb new white robes to match the aesthetic of the king's capital. No longer happy with having all the action take place in his gaff, the king starts a mountaineering club as him and his mates go off on a trek.
I feel like you're talking about Monty Python, but like I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you guys, you've spoke about it now a bit, I'm going to give you three, and then we're going to go for guesses. 3, 2, 1. What do you think?
It's not Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Are you guessing that it is Monty Python and the Holy Grail? It's just weird that you're saying
but it's not an
The-
Oscar winner. So
Dead right. And once again, the whole aim of this is just to guess what the film is. We'll be giving no points for guessing a film that it's not.
yeah,
Okay?
Okay, I feel like it's got to be like I don't know. Everest.
I thought
Going
these
on a
would be
trek?
very easy this week, guys. This is... Any guess from you, Claudia? Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
okay, I would not have guessed that. A mountaineering club.
They go off to Mount Doom at the end. They sick of the fight taking place in Gondor. They go off to Mount Doom.
Well, okay, I have not seen any
Well,
Lord of the
technically,
Rings.
they don't go
so
to Mount Doom. They go to the
To the
Black
foot
Gate.
of... Which is at the foot of Mount Doom.
Well, it's actually a little bit in front of it.
Oh, sorry, the little bit in front.
Hmm.
Well, either way, they set off. Well, I'm sorry. The rest of it might have given it away then, Sean. If you,
I'm not
if you
entirely
take,
sure that gave it away.
I think
Really?
it's still
Yeah.
like
The king is
I
no
gave you
longer
the
bumming about in
mountaineering
a
club.
dingy hood.
Give me the paper
Yeah,
because
you can have a read. This
I
is,
don't trust this.
I
Because
give
You are?
no, I give Robert the thing with the mountaineering club because it is still a hike. You don't necessarily have to go to a mountain to do mountaineering.
Thanks a million for that, Claudia.
So
what do you mean by bumming about in a dingy hood?
Strider. Aragorn was previously Strider. He wore black robes, and he went around with a regular sword and bow. And in this film, he takes his place as the King of Gondor. Yeah. So that's just a description of what took place in the film, which is what I usually try to write them as.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah. I took an interesting approach this week insofar as I wrote descriptions of the films, which actually I do every week. Well, guys.
I'm not pushed on that one. I'll let it
Okay,
happen. I'll
that's
let
okay.
it slide.
Well, you didn't get it, and actually neither did Claudia, which means Claudia wins this week 1-0. And I think that's the
Yay.
first time we've played where only one film has been guessed correctly.
yeah, I think so too.
So I think maybe Oscar winners are not sort of the films for us, guys.
Who knows anything about the Oscars, really?
That's a
Yeah.
great question. I would guess old people.
I would guess Robert. No, I'm kidding.
I would
He-
guess all those people that work for like E! Magazine and stuff.
yeah, journalists basically.
I don't know if you'd call them journalists. Anyway, I feel like I felt a cough coming. I feel like a song
Yeah.
is what should happen next.
So right now we have a song chosen by Claudia. Claudia, what's that song?
It's Parcels,
Yeah. And what's it called?
which are an Australian band.
That was the name of the song.
No,
also-
Parcels is the band.
Fun fact: Australia doesn't exist.
I forgot the name of the song. I'm sorry,
Close
Anyway.
to Why is the name of the song, Claudia. Thanks so much for picking it. That's
but I
Close to
really
Why
like the song. I just
by
forgot
Parcels.
it. It's all not
Close
one
to Why
word.
by Parcels.
So It's all one word, so I forget it.
That was
Parcels?
Parcels. Very, very nice. So right after Parcels, we're
That
going
was
to do.
Close to Why by... Did both of you forget the name of the song again?
Oh yeah.
That was Close to Why by Parcels. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We know the names of the songs.
It's one word,
It's
Well,
one
in
word.
fairness, I
Fantastic.
don't
so I
know.
forget it.
It was 5 minutes long, lads. I don't know what was happening.
Hope everyone had a nice little nappy in there.
So we're gonna move on to the next section now.
Before we do, I'm
what's
gonna-
everyone's favorite food? Mine's lasagna.
Before we go into the next section, I'd just like to say, in response to what we got last week, texted in 285 1188 488, a phone number I had while I was in primary school. One text here is from a guy called Mike. Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know I was coming out of the Palace Cinema the other day. Once again, we're not sponsored by Palace, but it's what it says. And I was accosted by a man on the street wearing a rough-looking coat. And that man, Sean Connery. So that's another Sean Connery spotting in there in Galway. Fantastic, thanks. Thanks for letting us know. If you've seen Sean Connery or have anything to add about film on our fake phone line, it's 085 1188 488.
Have you ever
Thank
seen
so
the
much.
SNL skits of Jeopardy with Sean Connery?
No.
I highly recommend you watch them. They are hilarious.
I like Sean Connery.
Oh, he's so funny in them.
Yeah.
Anyway, tip on there, Claudia.
Yes. So now we go to the
Claudia's
segment
news.
about
Claudia's
news.
news. Claudia's news.
New
Aw,
Claudia,
thanks.
what's the scoop?
Thank you, Sean and Rob.
School.
I think
Nice.
I think I like the last one the most because it like incorporates what you said and your first one. So
Nice.
Oh, dirty.
okay. So I have a little bit of an
For everyone who
update.
just heard a flicking sound and then Sean saying dirty, Sean's after flicking some tinfoil at Claudia, missed wildly, hit the window, and decided
the
that was dirt.
That's the real. That's the real talk banter.
Yeah.
We do have banter here. We're a bit banterful now, if I'm being honest with you.
Is that actually a word?
I
want
don't
to
know,
die.
Claudia.
Anyways, I have updates from last week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, we have ongoing stories. So you remember last week I was talking about like how from the trailer itself of Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, it
God,
seemed
that's
Oh,
like...
I watched it. The trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Oh, sexy Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, it's very
So from the trailer, I thought, yeah, it was kind of like glorifying serial killers and like, you know, everyone was just talking about that Bundy and everyone was saying like, he's so beautiful and like whatever. So according to Zac Efron, he has talked to various different magazines such as Variety. And so according to him, he thinks it's not a celebration of Ted Bundy. So what he was saying was, I feel a responsibility to make sure that this movie is not a celebration of Ted Bundy or a glorification of him, but definitely a psychological study of who this person was. In that, there's honesty. So he had to strike a careful balance to not glorify the serial killer or make him an aspirational figure, but still be convincing as an extremely likable guy who managed to pull the wool over people's eyes,
read
including those closest to
An
him.
article about it to see like what people's thoughts were on the sexy Ted Bundy thing. There was one journalist said that was the point.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are getting bogged down with how attractive Zac Efron is. But the whole point of it is to show Ted Bundy was this really attractive, really likable person that was able to get everyone on
completely
his
agree.
side.
Yeah.
So I think it really works.
If
that
they
Zac
make a
Efron's
film
playing
about,
him.
you know, Ted Bundy being like a three-eyed, you know, like hunchbacked, who cares?
If they got like Willem Dafoe
I want to see that now.
to play Ted
Yeah,
Bundy,
now
it
I
wouldn't
wanna see
work
that.
because he's not as handsome.
No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work.
The
as
whole
this
point
film.
of
It'd
Ted
be a
Bundy
great film
is
in
that
its own
he
right,
was
though.
charismatic, he was
Yeah.
attractive. People loved him basically when he was alive. He was a really, really
Respected figure. of
respected
the
figure.
community,
Yeah. And I think the whole point is that Zac Efron is an attractive person to play the role.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything problem with it.
No, absolutely not.
I think the only problem that I had maybe was just not that Zac Efron was playing him or that like the actor basically who's playing Ted Bundy is a good-looking guy, but how the movie is kind of portraying Ted Bundy. Is he like, are they like, you know, when it comes to the activities or like the murders, are they just like making more harmless? You know, how are they showing the murders?
Oh no, I think it's going to be
That's-
graphic from the end of the
Yeah.
trailer. You know the bit where he's dragging the body through the woods. Like I think the murders are going to be quite graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think the movie is focused on the murders.
Yeah.
No.
So
No,
it's
they're
focused on the character
of the person.
and the
I
court
completely agree.
case.
Yeah.
The murders are sort of
In the background.
they happened, but we're not focusing on that.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows about the
Yeah,
murders.
exactly.
Everyone sees
And
the Netflix
and
documentary.
the last thing I'd like to say on it that I'll just repeat from last week is this is a trailer. A trailer is not a film. We've seen countless trailers that are separate in tone and everything to films because their job is just to get you in the seat. You know?
And it also says here that that the film is told from the perspective of the Ted Bundy's girlfriend, Liz Klopfer, who wanted to believe him despite the evidence against him. Like so many others, he beguiled her and beguiled. Sorry.
No worries.
Beguiled her and obscured his true nature, and despite murdering more than 30 women, Ted Bundy never killed her. So that dichotomy and dissonance is what makes him fascinating and someone worth looking at.
He killed those women, but he slayed her heart. Sweet.
Anyway,
Maybe
that's
not.
enough about sexy Ted Bundy.
Yeah, next story there, sorry.
Another one is like that there is going to be like a teaser for the upcoming reboot of Child's Play. So
Lovely.
that it got confirmed that like the trailer's coming out this Friday.
Okay.
So very exciting. So basically what it is
What's
Child's Play is the franchise with the doll Chucky in it.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Jesus. Who the hell is asking for that? Keep going, Claude.
So they say that which I like is that they pulled together a cast that includes Aubrey Plaza,
Lovely.
and this guy Brian Tyree Henry, so from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know who he is. And then in the new movie Chucky,
Was he Miles Morales?
Ryan, I think so.
so whereas in the original movie Chucky was this normal doll that you could play like that you could buy in any store and was just normal, like there was no like he could just talk, like he had just
He had a voice box,
technology,
he had a
and he was
recorder.
then like a I wouldn't say demon, but like a
No, it was a
soul
serial
of like
killer.
a
It was
criminal.
a serial killer.
It was a
Yeah, the soul of a serial killer just went into
He used voodoo
Yes.
and he put himself
in
through
this
it.
one.
Have
in
you watched the film, Claudia?
Yeah.
Sorry, just your description there made me feel like...
Oh no, like it's hard to describe it. It's like this.
That's okay. There's a language barrier
Yeah.
after all. That's fine, don't worry.
Yeah. So in the new movie, Chucky would be a high-tech AI body doll.
Oh, perfect.
Oh my god, I want
No, we
to-
definitely
Yeah.
want that.
So
No,
and
that sounds
the reboot
absolutely
has
dire.
been proven to be like slightly controversial, but like the franchise creator like Mancini has spoken out against it and
Yeah,
has said that
definitely.
the original continuity is still very much
Yeah.
active.
The original continuity, which in its own right became an absolute shambles
Oh, yeah.
after a few films.
When they got the
bride
wife involved and the
then
child.
the ch- oh,
Yeah,
stop.
I think that one was kind of like when it went downhill a little bit.
They were fun in their own right. I enjoyed them. I thought they were very at least self-aware and they knew what they were. But at the end of the day, we're not kind of holding them up as high art.
Weren't they also like talking about like the releasing of like even a Child's Play TV show?
I haven't
Something about that?
a notion. I
Yes.
haven't a clue. But if they did, I would certainly watch it on a night where I had nothing else to do,
Sure.
Wonderful.
which I don't get many of. Claudia, what else do you have for us?
So there is going to be a Jumanji 3
my
movie.
God. Is this
So-
also starring Kevin Hart again and Jack Jablinski
Who the
and
hell's Jack Jablinski?
Jack Black
Okay.
and The Rock and Runner? Is it that again, or is it kind of going back to the original kind of board gamey format?
Well, it's going to be like the teen actors are
Okay.
returning.
Okay.
So from what I could read online, it was like that. It's like it's a still unnamed follow up to the 2017 Dwayne Johnson
God.
led
Yeah,
action
yeah,
film, but it will be the third one in the series. But from what I could read, it was like not with like the
Yeah.
other.
You guys have,
It was just like teens.
yeah. You guys have
again.
both seen the original Jumanji.
Hell yeah. I had on
Fantastic.
VHS.
I don't
So
like
good.
it that much.
You scare the hell out of me.
The spiders.
The spiders, the
Scared
rhinos, actually,
Crap out of me
all
as a
aspects
kid.
of it. You scare.
When he was going
God
through
out
the
of me.
floor.
Stop.
Oh.
I'm going to have to ask you, Sean,
Stop.
to stop.
Stop.
The more recent one. Have you guys seen the more recent one?
I watched clips of it online because I couldn't bring myself to watch the actual full
so
thing.
it's such a blatant cash grab because the original is these young kids with Robin Williams saying we're going to play a board game and that board game is going to kind of come to life in our house, and this is kids doing the same thing except they say, oh, now it's a video game, and in the video game we see ourselves as grown-ups, which means the entire film then is okay, forget the kids and the whole thing about this game coming to life where they are. Instead it's just Kevin Hart, The Rock and Jack Black and another actor, I forget what her name is, running around running around a jungle
Being Jack Black and Kevin Hart.
and doing their shtick. So it just says nothing. It's just here are 3 actors we managed to get on contract, 4 actors even, one of whom is an actress, as Seán very rightly points out.
What I
Total cash
found-
grab. And now they're saying, well, TV show, we don't have the money for the big boys, so and the one big girl, so we're going back, as Seán pointed out, to the teenagers.
What I
Mess.
found like very interesting is that like there's going to be some like it's basically they take the teenage characters from the last movie and they're going to be in this one, and then some new characters, including, which is very weird.
If you're at home, you can't see
Danny-
Claudia's face. It's a face
Danny
of
DeVito.
disgust.
Yeah, it's Danny.
Oh man, I'm
wait,
gonna
wait,
watch the crap out of it.
Danny Glover,
Oh, no,
Danny
I don't care.
Can't Danny DeVito as well.
Yeah, Danny
Double
DeVito.
Danny.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Danny
I'll watch
Glover.
Double
that.
D, double trouble.
I'd watch that now. I
So
know
it's
that,
Danny Glover, Danny DeVito, and
Yeah.
rapper Aquafina. Don't know her, but him, her.
all Quafina.
Yeah, it's
I'll
wait,
go
wait,
over
wait.
it and I'll take a
It's
look.
AWKWAFINA.
Okay, where is it?
Here.
Awakafina.
Awaka.
I don't know. AWK.
Awakwa.
That's awful.
It's Awk.
What I will
Is this
say,
what it's like
Awakafina.
to be on Claudia's microphone?
what I will say
Very
is
exciting.
this isn't exactly film news, but I started playing Kingdom Hearts recently, and I'll get very quickly to the point in this. Although actually, first of all,
Speed it up.
it effectively could be bloody film news because there's so little gameplay in that goddamn thing. Last night I wanted to end. I said I'm not playing anymore, and next time I get control of my character, I'm going to save and I'm going to go to bed. 20 minutes watching 3 different cutscenes. Joke. By the time they finally ended, I couldn't get into bed fast enough. But my point is on the note of Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito in the Disney classic Hercules plays Phil, the small little kind of satyr, pudgy man who kind of runs the Colosseum and helps Hercules.
Weirdly
all this.
attractive in that.
Well,
Well,
to each their own.
kidding.
Now, what I will say is he's a great character, and what's he known for? You know, his quick talking and his quips, and he's a very charismatic guy. Now, they have him in Kingdom Hearts, but they couldn't afford to get Danny DeVito in, so he awkwardly, in several cutscenes, is standing there, and he has no dialogue. He says nothing. But they still have several close-ups of the camera zooming in on his face for a reaction shot, where each time he just smiles awkwardly. And every time I was absolutely hoping we'd get one line from Danny DeVito, but it was never coming. So there's a weird silent version of Danny DeVito in Kingdom Hearts. But it's actually so creepy, because every time you see him, you're like, we're going to get DeVito'd. Never do.
Anyway, Claudster, any more news for us there? We done?
I'm not sure that this one is film related because it's about an actor.
Sure, that's
definitely
No,
related to what we're
it's
doing.
it's
We'll
not
go with
news
it.
about a film, but
It's
it's news about an
peripheral.
Are we
actor.
doing
Have
Scandal?
you heard that?
Spill the tea, Claude.
Yes. Have you heard that Liam Neeson was trending? I don't
Oh,
know.
he was. I read it.
Yeah,
last
for a
night.
very, very awkward and racist reason. So, like, it was basically that he found himself in hot water after sharing a story about wanting to kill Annie. And then this is where, like, and then black, and then, I'm not going to say the word, but, like,
I don't know what she's trying
I
to get
actually
at.
don't know what that
Bees?
means.
I think she's trying to get
like,
at
it's a
bees.
cuss word, so I'm not going to say it.
Oh,
but
female dog.
Language barrier. Probably is.
Like a child that
Doesn't.
was like without
BA,
a
not BI.
Oh,
BA, not
Yeah.
BI.
Without a dad.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is basically what Jon Snow is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
upon learning that someone close to him was raped by a black man.
Right.
Right.
So he was then kind of and that came to light that he had said that
That's a tricky issue.
that he's going to kill he's going to kill that
I
person.
feel slightly out of my depth all of a
this
sudden.
suddenly is no longer a light-hearted radio show. We're
Yeah.
now
Do you want me to
jumping
go back
into
to
the
talking about
world
Kingdom Hearts?
of. I kind of do, even though I'll
Danny
trailed
DeVito
out.
never said. I'd love to know what Danny DeVito has to say about this. Probably nothing. They couldn't afford him.
Anyway,
What did you hear the same thing though? Because you
yeah,
said,
no,
yeah.
I read it on Twitter last night.
Well,
when we
Sean
started-
hardly heard
because
something different from someone else, you know?
I thought he had died. To be honest with you, when it came up, Liam Neeson trending, I was like,
Oh, there we go.
"There we go, he's dead."
Arrivederci.
Anytime someone trends and it's just their name,
Yeah.
they dead. So I was like, "Oh no, that's a shame." So I went into it, and then I was like, "Liam Neeson's a racist," and I was like, "Oh, okay." He's not dead, like, but
Yeah.
he's a racist.
Well.
He's not anymore, though, according to the article.
He pulled it back.
He was talking about how he felt after the incident,
Yeah.
and how I think that's how it's changed now. Super racist and horrible things to say. I didn't really read the full article. didn't really want to.
Didn't have the stomach for it. Let's be real.
It was like 1 o'clock in
And
the
at the
morning.
end of the day,
like, why am I
we
doing
don't
this?
have many ongoing projects with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
So it's not of the
Yeah,
utmost.
yeah. I'm not really hiring him for anything soon.
So like what he was saying was
Go
that
on.
like how he was feeling afterwards. He was saying like I went up and down areas with Kosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some Neeson gestures air quotes with his fingers, black B word, would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could kill him.
Now I'm going now. The ethics of this are completely in the toilet, and I'd like to move on from it probably pretty soon. But the one thing that I will say is, regardless of who you are or what your ability is, if you come out of a pub a bit hammered and you see Liam Neeson, you're not starting with him.
I'd knock Liam Neeson out.
No, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'd be too afraid
Yeah.
to.
No,
I've seen what he does to people.
I'd go
Wolves
up to
even,
him.
Sean.
I'd
Packs of
knock him out.
wolves.
I'd hit him once in the chin. and
Packs
he'd be
of
down.
wolves, Sean.
Yeah. I'm a pack of lions.
No, you're not, Sean.
I'm a whole herd
Sean,
of
I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this.
lions.
Any
Anyway,
other racist news this week, Claudia?
maybe not
No.
racist. Let's spin back around.
Grant.
to
So any other
lighthearted
non-racist
nature.
news this week, Claudia?
The only other thing is that there's like a new poster, like a new Disney poster for the movie Dumbo.
Buzz.
Does it have
Oh, don't ask.
Dumbo on it?
Okay.
Yes,
I thought you were going to ask does it have the crows in
Well,
it.
that's the end of that story.
that's the end of
I
that
was not
story.
going to ask that,
I
Sean.
thought, God, don't bring that up.
No.
Are you excited for the Dumbo movie? Are you
Hell
going to
yeah,
watch
Dumbo's
it?
fantastic.
Because they're
Couldn't
saying that
really-
they're going to bring a totally new story element to it, or like a new spin on it.
It's about kind of anorexia now, presumably.
He's not going to fly.
Now it has to do with
It's
his
just
body
going to be
image.
an elephant. And
Yeah.
So they say, well, the basic premise
Rather than-
remains the
Rather than
same.
wishing he could fly, he just wishes he was a bit slimmer. God love him.
So whilst the basic premise remains the same, a story about young circus elephant with oversized ears who can fly, the cast reports that Tim Burton's remake actually tells a completely new narrative. So in addition to changing the way in which Dumbo gets his name, and his mom and something...
Presumably now he gets it on a random
Yeah,
online
and then
name
you, like-
generator and becomes a SoundCloud rapper.
Tim Burton's doing it, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then-
my
yeah.
money is on somewhere in the story, Helen Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp get married. Somewhere, because they're in everything he does. So
Yeah.
it probably won't even relate to Dumbo. Dumbo's probably a side character.
Very good.
So there will be like loads of new characters, and actually Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Why do you
yeah.
say that name wrong every time?
Sorry,
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell.
No, weird again there. Not wrong that time, just weird. Not Farrell.
Farrell.
He's not.
No.
What was that?
You're
guy?
like clenching your jaw.
Who's the guy that wrote Happy?
Colin Farrell.
Pharrell Williams.
Farrell Williams.
Anyway,
yeah.
Farrell.
Farrell. He will.
Yeah, but
he stars
give
as
one
like
of-
Gold
Definitely,
Farrier.
definitely
Give one of
a
us eye
cultural
contact when
thing.
you say it. You can pick who. Farrell.
Farrell.
Nope.
Farrell.
There you go.
Okay.
Farrell.
Nice.
Anyway,
Too much
um,
eye contact.
Play a song and I'll teach Claudia how to say Colin Farrell.
Right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to that quite dour new segment today.
Yeah.
But still some
Yikes.
grade A reporting. This is by Ainsley Lister, Inside Out.
And we are back. That was I think I'm saying his name wrong when I say it again. Ainsley Lister,
Yeah, you
Inside
did.
Out.
That's like it.
So now after the break, we're actually going to sort out the gender inequality in the workplace because, we've just tackled racism, so why not tackle another
What's
deeper,
going
harder
on?
subject?
I'm completely lost.
Well, I just...
Claudia's after closing up. I brought a pack of all butter sultana cookies this evening, and I got deeply excited when I thought Claudia was going to have one there during that last song. But instead, because she's a vegan, she didn't. She was just closing the pack away for me.
I got nervous.
So that
'cause
they don't go stale.
I thought she was
I
going to
know.
open it and start eating it, and I was like, there's like 30 seconds of this song left. Are you
Yeah,
gonna
that would make
crunch
I
it?
saw her go to town on that kiwi earlier. She could well handle it. Sean.
Yeah.
Don't mind her.
I like the phrase "going to town."
Banging it out and
I'm
going to
delighted
town.
you-
Two
Yeah,
phrases
banging.
Claudia likes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so now to what we know as the greatest segment of any radio show.
It's Rose's Riddles.
To be honest, that kind of sounds
What, the
like
finger
something
guns?
Harry Pottery. It kind of sounds like.
I'm just going to
Harry
repeat a
Potter
thing that I said
inspired.
before. I think it might have been in one of the earlier episodes. The finger guns, you can't see them on radio, and the sound is absolutely horrible into the mic. It's the one thing I'd say.
What if I do it back here? Oh, what if I just
Could you say bang?
bang,
Could you say-
bang, bang, bang?
That's brilliant.
Is that better?
That's much nicer.
Okay.
The sound with your mouth, I think, just comes. It's a bit abrasive.
Yeah,
But
well,
you know
I
what?
understand.
We're still great friends.
Oprah called me last week after
She
our
said,
last show, and she said, "Great
Seán,
segment, Sean.
that's a bit abrasive.
Again, fantastic segment. I think the finger guns are too scary for some listeners. You have to have a
Young
trigger
listeners
warning.
are covering their ears
Yeah,
and their
yeah.
eyes, even though it's radio.
Is
Even though
that
it's
how,
radio.
like, is that your Oprah impression?
No.
That's how Oprah sounds after she's run over by Josh Peck.
Yikes.
That was a Drake and Josh joke.
You're dead right.
Yeah.
You're 100% dead right.
Anyway, so this week's movies are war movies because everybody loves a good war.
Fantastic.
No.
Uh-huh. Oh wow, Claudia shot that down. Anyway, I just picked 2 war movies I saw
That's your North
recently.
Italian upbringing, I think. Go ahead, Sean.
She's gonna swap sides halfway through.
Yeah.
Basically,
Basically, like,
Okay.
Okay, so last week I believe Claudia, you went first.
yes.
So this week, Rob, you're going to go first.
Hey, dude, that's me.
Would you like film 1 or 2?
I'll take 1.
Okay, fantastic. Film 1 is I couldn't read there for a second. That's why I was
No
trying to
worries,
filibuster.
that's okay.
Film
We
1.
have dimmed the lights in the room to quite a romantic little soft
I like
glow.
the
Yeah,
the
I
that's
think
light.
it
very
works a lot better
So
than the
but Sean
bright
might
lights.
just take a moment to read the notes. Go for it, Sean.
Film 1 is the 2017 Christopher Nolan Dunkirk.
A fantastic film that I never saw.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
A phenomenal movie. If anyone
Yeah.
hasn't seen it, I highly,
With,
highly recommend
Harry
it.
Styles.
With Harry Styles, his acting debut. There's a really interesting thing they do throughout the film. In the soundtrack, there's a little tick, like a clock ticking, and that doesn't stop throughout the whole movie. It's to like
Yeah.
build suspense, so you feel like every second
interesting.
counts. Oh, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I believe it won an Oscar. I think these are both Oscar-winning movies. Anywho, so
Did they win
trivia.
Best Picture?
I think so.
Were they featured on my segment?
I think it was. They didn't win Best
I
Actor. I
wasn't
know that
featured
for a
on my
fact.
segment anyway. I don't think Dunkirk won Best Film. But go ahead.
Anywho,
When was
trivia
it? Last
number
year it came
1,
out, wasn't it?
2017. So that was 2 years ago.
What won that year? Revenant. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Revenant won
so.
2017.
I thought that one. No, that was out before 17. That was 16.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
let's go
look,
ahead.
sure, we're just
either way.
guessing.
Let's
We're just
move
guessing.
on.
We'll power on.
Trivia
Oh, wait,
number one,
Moonlight.
okay.
Moonlight it was.
Trivia number 1. Nolan wanted to film in France, but ultimately had to film in the south of England due to permit issues.
Okay.
Trivia number 2. Harry Styles had to have a personal bodyguard on set at all times because of unwanted attention. And trivia number 3. Only 2 women have speaking roles in the entire movie.
And I have to find the fake.
You have to find the lie in those true pieces of trivia. So we'll go through it one by one, just to help you out.
Yeah, so the first one is he wanted to film in the south of France.
He wanted to film on the actual beach.
of Dunkirk.
Of Dunkirk.
However, he had to do it in the south of England instead.
Yes, because there was
Okay.
permit issues with using that beach, as it's
Okay.
now
A
a
historical
dockyard.
site. Oh,
There's a dockyard beside it, and there's issues with having
righty-ighty.
people. Yeah.
The second point was that Harry Styles had to have a security detail there because presumably he got attention from young fans or
Yes,
from some
it
sort
was all filmed outside, and there was a lot of people trying to get in to have a look at the set and have a look at Harry Styles, and he had to have a personal bodyguard
Okay.
there at all times.
Understandable.
And trivia number 3
Don't try putting me
is...
astray now, Claudia, with your little tidbits, all right? You keep those tidbits to yourself.
I just say, like,
Claudia, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the studio now if you keep just shoving advice on me. Okay?
But-
I want a fair chance of this, Claudia.
Claudia, I will flick tinfoil at you again.
And he'll miss and he'll call it dirt. Sean?
Trivia number 3 was that only 2 women have speaking roles.
Okay. Nolan, not known for having lots of women in his films.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I might be inclined to believe. Having seen the film would help with that one greatly.
Yeah.
The other ones I can kind of take a guess at. I can imagine that there are only 2 speaking roles for women.
So you're saying that's true.
I'm going to guess that one's true.
Okay.
I'm going to guess as well. Then we're down to Dockyard or Harry Styles. I mean, there was Tom Hardy. There were other phenomenal actors in the film. And regular actors presumably don't normally need security details. At the same time, one thing that makes me think if it was filmed in the south of England, it would be even more likely that there Harry Styles would need a security detail. So maybe both of those are true together. Maybe they kind of help each other. For that reason, I'm going to try going for the 2 women. There's only 2. No, that's such an old thing that there'd only be 2. Oh, it's tough. I'm going to just take a stab at it. I'm going to say the first point. Oh, I'm so lost. Oh my God, I actually don't know what I want to go for at all. This is dire. Claudia, do you have any commentary that you'd like to add in without me barking back at you?
I would say probably the second one.
Harry Styles, yeah,
Yes.
that's fine.
I just think that like there's
And
so many
security on
phenomena.
set, and security
Yeah.
on set should be good enough as it is. We're going to go with number 2, the security for Harry Styles.
Well, you should not have listened to Claudia.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Whoops.
Claudia, it was wrong. He did actually have his personal bodyguard there at all times. The entire film was filmed on the actual beach
And it
and
was
in
the
the surrounding areas, and there is only 2 female speaking roles in the entire
But I mean that
movie.
one
So which
makes
was
sense.
the-
The last one.
The lie
Yeah.
was that it was filmed in England. It was filmed in France.
Oh, it was filmed in actual
It
Dunkirk.
was actually filmed
Whoops.
in
Very
Dunkirk. So once again, you are wrong.
I am indeed.
But
I can't seem to get
I'm
it.
not going to chalk that one entirely up to you. I'm going to blame Claudia for that
No,
one.
that's awful. That's awful.
No.
That's awful.
True
I
that.
take full responsibility. I'm well
He
used,
asked me.
Anyway,
I'm-
Claudia,
and
do you
I'm-
want film 2 or 2?
I'm very used to not
2.
listening to what Claudia
Okay.
has to say, so I
Film-
chalk that entirely up to myself.
Film number 2, I feel like you've probably seen because it's on Netflix, is
Very
Hacksaw
good.
Ridge 2016. Have you seen it?
Claudia has
No.
a completely blank face.
Okay, do you know what
for people
Hacksaw Ridge is?
No.
Wow.
Maybe I've seen it
Okay.
like
It's
on the site, like a
Oscar-winning
picture.
movie.
It's to do with
How do you
a
spell it?
pacifist.
Hacksaw, all one
Ridge.
word, Ridge.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
It's to do with I'm not giving too much away, the plot, it has to do with a pacifist soldier who's effectively there as a medic.
The
isn't he?
first passive soldier in any war. He didn't want to go, but then they let him go,
That'd be
and
me.
he gets trapped at the top of a mountain and lowers all of these injured people down the side of the mountain with a rope. And he ends up saving like 75. Well, he said himself in interviews 50, but they think they found counts of 100 people, so they chalked it up to about 75 people.
Okay.
But over his entire war tour,
Mm-hmm.
he saved over 300 people's lives.
Phenomenal.
So fantastic guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
Claudia, trivia number 1. Several shots of the Japanese soldiers charging actually come from a different movie called Battle of the Pacific 2011. It was in 2011. That's not part of the title. Trivia number 2. The whole movie was shot in 59 days. And trivia number 3. Throughout the course of the film, no one says the word war. They use the word massacre instead to describe the events.
I think the first one is very specific, but it kind of sounds like odd that they just use it from another movie.
It's a American movie by the same studio. Came out in 2011. It's about Japanese soldiers fighting Americans.
This movie is like about which war?
Second World War.
Okay. And the second one, the second thing is,
Shot in 59 days in total.
I kind of don't believe that. That was just,
I'd probably call it a lie then,
Big
Claudia,
movie.
if you
Big
don't believe
movie.
but that's too obvious that it's like, oh, it was shot in 59 days.
Well, I
you
tried to
know?
make these as obvious as possible.
Why?
To make them as difficult as possible so they all seem plausible. Like, I don't have one here that just says, everybody wore pink, because then you'd know that was a lie.
Yeah. And the last one is they say massacre instead of war.
Yes.
I think everyone wore blue on set, wasn't it? Was the colour for this film?
Yeah, a big gender imbalance.
Yeah.
That's odd. I think.
We go down through one by one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, first one. The shots came from a different movie called Battle of the Pacific. What do you think of that?
That could be plausible. Yeah.
So you think it's plausible?
Yeah.
Trivia 2, the whole film was shot in 59 days.
Not sure about that one.
Trivia number 3, that no one says war, they use the term massacre.
That would be weird if, like, through the whole movie they did not say the thing like war once.
Well, a lot of films do that as a creative choice. They don't show.
I don't think the word war appears once in Napoleon Dynamite. If I remember correctly.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Okay, I'm just gonna go with.
That's
Okay, my instinct is telling me like 59 days, but at the same time, like, that's a little bit of too much of like an obvious lie if it's a lie. So, and I also cannot lose. So I'm just gonna say the last one is a lie.
You're going to say that the one that no one says war
Yeah.
is a lie. Well, you'd be correct. Once again, for the third time in a row,
Fair play
Claudia
to her.
is
That's
correct.
phenomenal, Claudia.
The movie did steal shots. Didn't steal, obviously. They paid for them from a different movie because it was easier than
But
trying
it's
to
the same
film.
studio, so it's easy.
The entire film was shot in 59 days, and it is a lie. They do use the term war. Very good. Once again,
Phenomenal.
the best segment of this radio station. You guys are all welcome for that. And
Thanks so much. I'm going
fair
to give
play
us
to you,
a
fair play to me,
Quick
fair play
little
to us.
roundup this week. Does anyone have anything coming up in the next week? I think it's just regular film screenings.
Do we have the table quiz?
No, table quiz is to be announced. We don't know what's going on.
Yikes.
So, and this airs on Friday anyway, so that'll be over. I'm kind of rushing us through this because for once it would be nice to end this show and have all of it aired on time.
Very nice. Yeah, that would be
Lovely
a hope
stuff.
of ours for once.
So we hope everyone enjoyed the show this week. We hope to have you all listen again next week, since we're now a weekly show. And from me, Rob.
Don't forget, actually, if you ever
Oh, go
miss
ahead.
the show and you actually like listening to the show,
Yes, this is a very
we
point.
do have a YouTube channel. We put the show up every week. Claudia does a fantastic job of taking the songs out.
Real Talk Radio, it's called.
Real Talk Radio goes up on a Saturday normally, or yeah, it has to go up after the show. So it only goes up on like a Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Whenever.
On the
Whenever.
weekend.
Whenever.
On Saturday or Sunday, not during the week. That's Saturday or Sunday on the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
With fantastic stuff. We hope, again, to hear from all of you. If you spot Sean Connery or you have anything to tell us, 085
Does anyone
1188
feel like
488.
a pun? Like I feel like right now a real nice pun would go down. Like just like a little pun, you know?
It's the
pun.
Well, this week, guys, no pun. I'm just going to say from me, Rob,
Oh, I'm Sean.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Claudia.
you've been listening
I'm Claudia.
to Real Talk. If you need to catch fish on campus.
Hey,
Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
fishing. Pun,
And we'll
pun,
talk to
pun,
you
pun,
all
pun.
next week.
What's the song, Rob?
It's versatile.